Welcome to Jason on English. Let's look at tact, being honest and polite. What is tact? When you communicate, it is important to have integrity. This means being complete, hiding nothing, and being honest. However, it is sometimes difficult to be directly honest. In these situations, we use tact. We choose words carefully so that we can try to avoid hurting someone directly while still being honest. Tact with adjectives. When you use an adjective that might hurt the listener, there are 3 techniques that you can use to show tact. Number 1, use a euphemism. Number 2, use minimization. Number 3, use a negative opposite. The first step is understanding which adjectives are rude or hurtful. Be careful. When you're learning new English words, try to learn the word completely. What does the word mean? How do you spell it? How do you pronounce it? And does the word have any positive or negative nuances? Be careful. Let's look at using euphemisms. Euphemisms are words or phrases that are less direct ways to say something negative. Bob is fat. Fat is a very negative word. We should avoid using the word fat directly. Bob is heavy. Bob is big. Bob is big-boned. The words heavy, big, and big-boned are more polite. These are examples of euphemisms. Euphemisms are the best technique. However, they are the most difficult. There are a lot of euphemisms to learn. Learning euphemisms helps your speaking and your listening. You will understand what people mean, and you will know when they are trying to be polite. Here are some examples of euphemisms. Pass away, die. Bob passed away. Bob died is very direct. Experienced, old. Jim is very experienced. Jim is very old. When we talk about people, old is a negative word. We should avoid using it. Between jobs, unemployed. Anne is between jobs. Anne is unemployed. That might be a very sad situation for Anne. We should avoid saying unemployed directly. Under the weather, sick. Bob is under the weather. Bob is sick. Sick is a very negative situation. If we say Bob is sick directly, it might be considered rude. Using under the weather is more polite. Unique, strange. Jim has unique hair. Jim has strange hair. Strange is sometimes considered negative. Unique is a good euphemism to remember. Expecting, pregnant. This is possibly a private topic. Maybe we shouldn't say pregnant directly. Anne is expecting. This is more polite than Anne is pregnant. Now let's look at minimization. You can make a negative adjective more polite by adding a little, a bit, kind of, or sort of in front of the word. This makes the adjective low level. Bob is a little fat. Jim is kind of slow. Anne is a bit strange. It is not the best technique for tact, but it is easy. Now let's move on to negative opposite. If you know the opposite of a negative adjective, you can use this pattern to be more polite. Not very, opposite adjective. Bob is short. Short is considered negative for people. Bob is not very tall. Tall is the opposite of short. Using not very tall is more polite. Jim is slow. Slow is negative. Jim is not very fast. Fast is the opposite of slow. Not very fast is more polite. Now you try. Anne is fat. What is the opposite of fat? Anne is not very slim. Anne is not very slender. Anne is not very thin. In this case, we have several options. This room is small. What's the opposite of small? This room is not very big. The hotel is expensive. What's the opposite of expensive? The hotel is not very cheap. When you're speaking, try to be careful. Be honest, have integrity, but remember to use tact. Choose your words carefully. Try to avoid directly saying negative things. Try using euphemisms if you know them. If you don't know the euphemisms, you can use minimization and you can use negative opposites. If you like, please watch this video again and practice using tact. Thank you for watching.